51. 51 is given that potential energy of an one dimensional harmonic oscillator is equal to V1 when it displacement from the equilibrium position x1. Then the potential energy becomes V2 when its distance from the equilibrium position x2. When its displacement from the equilibrium position is x1 plus x2, the potential energy will be what? The options are half v1 square plus v2 square root over, B option v1 plus v2, C 2 into root over of v1 into v2 root over, D is your v1 plus v2 plus 2 v1 v2 root over. मैं इसको डिराइव कर देता हूँ कितना होता है देखते हैं. Okay, now consider a one dimensional harmonic oscillator like this, which is at a equilibrium position, this one. Okay, for displacement x1 डिस्प्लेसमेंट के लिए पोटेंशियल v1 को हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? वन डायमेंशनल हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर का पोटेंशियल हाफ m ओमेगा स्क्वायर x1 स्क्वायर. एंड फॉर x2 डिस्प्लेसमेंट के लिए v2 पोटेंशियल को लिख सकते हैं हाफ m ओमेगा स्क्वायर x2 स्क्वायर. If the displacement will be x1 plus x2, then what will the potential? If it is v3, then what it will be with relation with v1 and v2, ये पूछा गया है. So v3 को हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? That is your half m ओमेगा स्क्वायर x1 plus x2 whole square. ठीक है. So here v3 will be equal to half m ओमेगा स्क्वायर x1 square plus half m omega square x2 square. If I'm going to consider this is a plus b whole square, okay, plus half m omega square 2 into x1 x2, right? Here you can see half m omega square x1 square is your v1, half m omega square x2 square is your v2. So this value is your v1, this value is your v2. So v3 कितना हो जाएगा? अभी देखो v1 plus v2 में डाल दिया इधर plus half m omega square into 2. Here x1 के बदले में कितना लिख सकता हूँ? देखो x1 here from this equation x1 will be equal to 2v1 by m omega square root over. From this equation x2 कितना हो जाएगा? 2v2 by m omega square root over. So if I am going to substitute this x1 and x2 value over here you can see 2 by m omega square is the common, so root over तो हट जाएगा. तो कितना होगा? 2 by m omega square हो जाएगा और बचेगा कितना? v1 root over v2 root over of v1 into root over of v2. Here you can see this 2 got cancel, m omega square got cancel. Finally we found for the displacement of x1 plus x2 the potential will be v3 if v3 will be v1 plus v2 plus here 2 into v1 root over into v2 root over. This will be the answer. The option will be D. Okay, the option D will be the correct answer, right?